What's happening
this week
in sports
cards?
This week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards. Oh, this week in sports cards.
Welcome into This Week in Sports Cards. I am Keith, not the Philly picker. Let me fix that.
Whoa!
That was a little inside joke for the Buy It All podcast. I gotta change that. I am Vintage Sport Flips.
Yes, you are. I'm King of Penance.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how do I change this on the fly. I'm not used to
Here.
Oh, I got it. I think I got it.
Yep. Look at him.
Let's get rid of that.
We're both off. We're all off. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, Vintage Sport Flips over here. This Week in Sports Cards, we talk about the trending topics in the hobby, and there's a lot trending right now, Andy. The world is a buzz. The sports card world is a buzz right now. With
is it? I didn't realize.
Yeah, with Whatnot news. Did you hear about all the Whatnot drama?
No, I did see No Bangers podcast. I think said something about it, but I didn't actually. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. But I know that they were saying the end of Whatnot, or something like that.
Well,
right?
I don't think it'll be that, but that was what their thumbnail said. But yeah, Whatnot was not sued, but an arbitration case was brought against Whatnot in California by a lawyer representing 15 people. And the reason it would be a lawsuit, but the terms of service Whatnot has, you have to file an arbitration case first before there could be a lawsuit. So that's all semantics, I guess. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's beyond that. But
yeah, maybe I'm sure that they want to get out ahead of that, probably, which is why they do that.
Whatnot? I mean, I think a kind of company like that, they want to have force arbitration versus a lawsuit because there's secrecy in an arbitration case, right? That's not public. So
it also opens up I think a threshold or something like it. I mean, if they win a court case against them, everybody's going to do that, like if they have a similar issue with it. Arbitration can be settled out of court, and nobody's the wiser, really.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's why the company would do it for sure. Yeah. So that's the first step, and we'll see what the end result is of that. But there are two main, and I'm summarizing, and I listened to the lawyer talk about it. But two main topics that were brought by the lawyer and his clients. One, that Whatnot is a California-based company, and they are not deemed a gambling situation, right? But the lawsuit, or the arbitration, is alleging that it is gambling, and they're not providing these complainants, I guess you would say, the safeguards that a lot of gambling like sites will have or casinos will have.
Yeah,
like warning and
valid point.
Yeah, providing the 1-800 this number for if you're addicted to gambling, or like you can set. I guess in some gambling sites, I mean, I've used FanDuel and different things. I don't have a problem with it, but I guess you can set limits. Yeah. So, and Whatnot doesn't have that. So that's one part of the lawsuit, that it's dangerous if you're addicted to gambling.
Okay.
And
totally get that.
Yeah. And we've all been down that path where it's addictive, right? And what wasn't brought up by the lawyer, but I think this is more than anything, like the alerts that Whatnot sends out. When you're into breaking and you get an alert that the breaker you break with is selling right now, and that pops up on your phone as an alert, you can shut it off. But if you don't shut it off, that's like an allure to get back into the app.
Right? True.
So that's the one part, which I think is an easy fix from Whatnot's perspective. Like, can you just throw things in the terms of service or throw some warning things out there? That's probably an easy fix.
Like a little banner or ad or something. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
The bigger problem, though, was the other part of it, where it was dealing with repacks. And
interesting.
And there was some RICO kind of allegations about fraud in the repack game, which I felt like Whatnot maybe saw this coming, and Whatnot earlier this year, or maybe end of last year, they made some statements or made some changes where you could only have official repacks be sold on Whatnot in breaks.
Right.
Like it couldn't just be like your Bob Schlab's repack company.
Not saying anything bad about Bob Schlab's repack company because they do a fine job over there at Bob Schlab.
Schlab's the best.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that ever really happened. And I think the issue is if you have breakers who are selling breaks with their own repacks in the breaks, right? And I've been in those breaks. I've watched them. Maybe I've gotten in them. I forget. But some of the allegations where if the breaker, they obviously know what's in the product.
Yep.
And if they know, for example, let's say we're doing an NBA break and pick a team who's maybe not a super popular team in a break. Let's do football because it's going to be easier for me. Let's say you have a Arizona Cardinals or Jets. If the Arizona Cardinals, they're not going to be a top popular team in any break, right?
Right.
But as you're going down the break, later in the break, when it gets to PYT, a lot of breakers will do like pick your own team at the end when there's like not a whole lot of teams left.
Mm-hmm.
It encourages people to bid a little higher if they're going after a certain team. Then I guess the allegation was there's documentation of breaks where like a low follower guy will come in towards the end when it's a pick your own team, bid more than what people would probably bid and pick a team like the Cardinals, and then maybe hit a Kyler Murray 1-of-1 auto.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
The allegation is that person was tipped off and it's somebody who knows the breaker and they come in at the end and scoop up the team and it's
interesting,
I guess, right? So
I mean, I feel like there's very, very little. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like there's very little oversight at Whatnot.
Oh yeah, it's a cesspool, and the lawyer used that phrase too, right?
So I mean, the problem with that, I mean, when there's no oversight like that, like eventually the walls are going to crumble in. You know, like it can't maintain that level where the breakers get more and more brazen with like doing shadier and shadier things. That before eventually it's going to take them out because either they got to get rid of those people and or they have to put much stricter things on. But I mean, half of my Instagram feeds now are just people like shadily pulling cards out of out of a break or submitting like a different downtown or all this other stuff. It's like crazy amounts of stuff. So
and we've been showing clips of those kind of scenes from Whatnot the last few episodes of Twisk or This Week in Sports Cards. We call it Twisk in the background. And the fact that those things can happen and go on and like people are cursing and destroying cards or one guy ate a card. I saw in a clip recently.
Yeah.
That can happen without moderation and without Whatnot shutting down that stream. We know they don't have enough viewers out or moderators out there or enough oversight. And if that kind of stuff can happen, this kind of shady like back end stuff can happen in breaks. So that's the biggest thing that Whatnot needs to do. Whatever happens with this arbitration is to get rid of these low life sellers who are either scamming people through this kind of like stuff that this lawyer is speculating is happening, or just the stuff that we've been showing in the last few weeks in our clips.
Definitely.
That's the thing that needs to happen. And we'll see if that does happen. I don't think Whatnot's going anywhere because Whatnot is bigger than sports cards.
Yeah.
And it's a massive market for clothing and all kind of everything. There's people sell aquarium fish and plants.
Sure.
And, so it's bigger than that. But what will happen if repacks get changed or repacks either get banned by Whatnot or really altered where it's only like Fanatics can put out a repack or whatever may happen.
Right.
That's going to dramatically affect the value of the modern sports card market. I think there will be a crash in kabooms and downtowns and all that stuff. Because Andy, if you go to shows, and we've both been at shows, but if you go there, you'll see like 18-year-old kids at a table. I want this card. I want that card. Buying it like full price or 90% of price comps.
Yep.
Because he's buying for repacker. He's not even buying the cards. He's
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So that market is fluffed up by this kind of repack industry. And if that industry goes away on one of the biggest platform, in my opinion, where repacks are sold, that's gonna pull the rug out from under the price of a lot of things.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you see, like if you watch Card People or like some of the big card channels, a lot of times some of their biggest deals are going to repackers. That's not to say that all those repackers are bad by any means.
No,
like
no, not at all.
Some are like a lot of the stuff that I see are going to like legitimate repackers like Arena Club and things like that. And those guys, they pay strong, but they also, they don't pay like crazy amounts either, I don't think. So there's, but anyway, yeah, that does make sense, that if it kind of goes down that path, then you're going to have to, I mean, they're not going to be, to your point, is like these big hits, and these fly by night repackers aren't going to, be scooping them all up. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think they do pay strong, Andy. I think that's why if you go to a show and people, the I buy sports cars, or the people are buying in their booths, they're paying 80 to 90% because those repackers are going to come and pay 100%.
Yeah.
They know that built-in margin immediately, because repackers are making money on the back end.
Yeah, I was more talking about like the huge ones. I feel like I don't know. At least from what I saw, Arena, like some of those were paying closer to, like that 80 to 90%, maybe a little higher than that. Definitely higher than that, but some of them were buying like big batches of stuff. They were buying like 70, 80, $100,000 worth of cards.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
But slightly discounted some. Obviously, yeah, you're not going to get the same prices you're selling to like to Bob Schwab that has his own.
Yeah, Bob Schwab's repackers. And if you guys don't know from this channel, I'm a reseller on my other channel, Vintage Sport Flips. And that kind of like price paying in any kind of other marketplace, antiques, I sell in antiques, memorabilia, vintage clothing, nobody's paying. You're paying like 50%, maybe 30, 40, 50% on items you're going to resell. So that's a unique thing with the sports card market, where people are paying 85, 90%. And that's all because of the repackers. If that wasn't there, when you're going to sell your cards at a card show, you're getting 60% maybe. And that changed everything. So if that would change again, the bottom's going to fall out. Or maybe not the bottom, but the top. I mean, the low end cards are going to always sell, but the high dollar cards, the $500 downtowns, they're probably going to be $300 6 months from now if this happens.
Well, let's clip this and see if you're right. 6 months from now, see what happens.
We'll circle back. That's only I'm saying if they make a change. I think
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I think I should never allow is people selling their own repacks. However big you are, if your backyard breaks and you have your own repacks, get the hell out of here with that crap. It's got to be a third party company coming to you, you not knowing what's in those repacks.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that type of stuff. I mean, that makes zero sense, right? It's basically like playing poker against the house when the house knows both sets of cards.
Yeah,
I mean, like
absolutely.
They know what you have and they know what they have. Like, and they're still able to make decisions. So yeah, it's just a bad move.
So fix it, whatnot.
I'm not saying maybe they don't swap them out, but you certainly could. It's not hard to swap them out too. If you know you have a giant repack in there, and for one reason or another, like that, it's not going well, you swap it out for a cheap. Yeah, I don't like it. I think you're right. Yeah. That's why some of the bigger ones, the bigger like repackers, probably will still do well. I don't disagree that the card that will change the card market some. I do think that repacks are here to stay, and there's a lot of money in Arena Club and all these big, like Fanatics, I think even does it. Some of these, I still think there's going to be a market for that. So I'm not sure, but certainly the smaller ones, or even like the one-stop shop, like, Breakers repacking their stuff. I think that could go down, but I would be surprised if it completely falls apart. But
I agree. I'll be surprised. My premise there was that if Whatnot said we're done with repacks,
I got you.
That would change things dramatically.
Right? I think it would. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but yeah, there are some positives in the hobby though. That's the negatives, and maybe that's not a negative at all. I think a hobby getting cleaned up, probably not a negative, right? So that's
agreed.
Yeah, it's a positive. Andy, so some positives. How about some positive sales? Do you have a sale of the week?
I do. I have a sale of the week. Just so happen to have one. Yeah, this happened, and I got to remember. Let me find out when it was exactly. let's see.
I don't know when mine is at all.
So yeah, so it's another record set. I feel like every week we're having a new record set by these. So this week, I think, or maybe it was the 12th, I want to say. It was within a week, I think. Certainly we didn't talk about it last week. Aaron Judge, 1/1 refractor sold. It's I know it's probably small, so there you go. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
2013 Bowman Chrome draft pick, Superfractor, 1/1. It's a Beckett 9.5, so it's basically a Gem 10. And it sold for $5.2 million.
Jeez.
So yeah, I know it's out of control.
So where did that break a record of?
It's the most paid for a modern day baseball card.
Okay.
So, the previous one was, I think, Mike Trout had a Superfractor that was like 3.9. But yeah, you have two of the biggest baseball players, I would say, in the last, I don't know, what do you think, 30 years, maybe, if not more, playing the game right now, and Shohei and Aaron Judge. And Judge being in the biggest, and them being in the two biggest baseball markets, they're just going to bounce off each other back and forth. And I would just be very surprised if Shohei doesn't eclipse this.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, when the right card pops up, right?
Exactly.
And I think Trout, his values were similar, but prices have went up so dramatically since then.
Yeah.
And the card market has grown so much since then. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's I'm not surprised by that price.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, it's you're not surprised, but it always surprises me when it's like 2013. Like that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the same card, the exact same price as a Honus Wagner that was.
Yeah. And I think the other thing with those two players too, with Aaron Judge and Shohei, you have huge markets they're in, right? I mean, New York, that you can't get a bigger market. LA, and you got the whole Japanese collector base probably going after Shohei too. So that really perfect storm for two historic players in probably the best places they could be.
Absolutely. And I will say, there are multiple Honus Wagners out there too. So this is the only one of that card. So, and the best card of that person. So essentially, I think that's probably, at least currently, I don't know, maybe there's some others that will pop up that could eclipse it, that are, because that's a 1/1 auto, but maybe there's a 1/1 patch or something out there that even does better than that, but who knows?
Yeah. All right, very cool. And I'm going vintage here.
Of course, we kind of nestled into our own little nooks.
Yeah. That's okay. Here's mine, Andy. So we got a T206. Me and Andy have been delving into the T206 market lately. At least we've been looking at it on Andy's part. So Andy, this card brought a pretty hefty price. It brought a little over $3,000 as far as the sale. So, so part of the reason, the first is a common player, minor leaguer, Rube DeSalle, right? And it's an authentic grade, not a high grade.
Some people call you a Rube, right? Isn't it?
I don't think I've heard that, but maybe behind my back.
Yeah.
So common, usually common, authentic common would be, I don't know, $60, $80, something like that for a T206 common.
But this card is bloodstained. Is that what it is?
Well, here's part of it. Here's it's a blank back.
Okay.
So it's an error. There was no back. Usually it's going to have Piedmont, Sweet Caporal, Old Mill, whatever, Polar Bear. You get all the backs there. But you're right. It does have a stain there, which makes it more interesting. So, but Andy, if you turn your head,
it's like another person.
Yeah, it's what's called a ghost print.
Okay.
So what that is, and that part of the reason that's a blank back card is that
when this card that looks like Rasputin or somebody.
It does have a upside down. It looks like a Rasputin or a vampire or somebody, but it's actually this dude.
Oh, okay.
It's
not as Rasputin.
Maloney, Rochester player Maloney. It's hard to see that when it's upside down, but that's who that is down there. So pretty rare. There's a collector base for these ghost prints or print freaks. And I think it's pretty cool, especially there's some wild ones out there where there's like multiple colors, multiple different players in the ghost print. So yeah, it's a little over $3,000. The previous time this sold for like 1,700. So that's went up in value.
Yeah.
Nice, that was only like 7 years ago. Yeah. So there we got a little, a little ghost. We'll show a little ghostly card there.
There you go. Should save that one for October. But
yeah, I should have. But I could, once I found it, I want to save it. And it was recent. So let's get into some modern stuff, some modern topics here with this right here.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
I'm back. Yeah. So these glasses I cannot see anything with.
So before you say it, Andy, the nerd alert with Andy, he's gonna take a deep dive into some numbers here in one of these recent products. So what do we got here, Andy?
So we're going to look at the recent, well, this will come up in a little bit too, about the recent releases, Topps Heritage, which I think is people have maybe a love-hate relationship with these days. I think a lot of people like myself, Keith, kind of like the look of it personally, like because they go back, this year's 1977, I think is the era. So like this, they just bump it up every 35 or something. So but I think they're relatively unlike we talked about Bowman Best and how it was a great buy, and like, you know, the number of autographs per box, all that stuff is a great buy because it was under $100 per autograph, and it was 4 autographs per box. So Heritage is the swings in the completely different direction. So unfortunately for Heritage, which is a product I really think that if they would up it a little bit, like maybe give it a little more, a little more bang for your buck, it would do a lot better. It is very weak. So it's an average of, I believe, 1.5 autos per case. So that works out to being basically 85% of the boxes you open are going to have a relic in it, not an autograph.
Isn't it one out of 8 boxes? 1 out of 8 boxes or 1 out of 6?
It is 1 out of 8 boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy for a hobby box, right?
Exactly.
I mean, at least give it a 50-50 shot, if not a guaranteed auto.
Right.
Let's give yourself a 50-50 shot. I mean, that's crazy.
Because I think if you look at it too, like, you know, you could buy Top Series 1. The checklist is not better than Heritage. I mean, again, I like the card. I like the look of it. So you really have to enjoy that. They do okay on the secondary market. The autos, you would think they would do much better because they're so kind of hard to hit, but they don't. They don't do that well even on the market. But what it comes down to, we were talking about $85 or something like that, or under $100 per auto. The average cost for an auto in a hobby box is $950. So just think about that. I mean, it's insane. The better buy actually is the mega box if you look at it. So they come out with megas as well. That's $847, still not exactly a steal, but yeah, it's a rough box.
$847 per auto.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, $847 per auto. And then value boxes are staggering $1,800 per box, or $1,800 per auto.
And I will say the hobby box is sort of an inexpensive hobby, and the reason for it, it's not really even a hobby at all, in my opinion, right? I mean,
no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
I mean, I think it was
glorified mega box, if anything. You know?
Like 120. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit more than that.
It's called a hobby box light. Is that what Optic did at one point?
They did, but those optics were like 150, and I think you were maybe you weren't guaranteed auto there too. You were guaranteed 2 patch cards too. So you're
okay.
And those, the one thing I will say that the only redeeming quality about Topps Heritage, I think, is the relics are actually either game worn or game player worn in some way.
Okay.
I mean, Panini stuff, like even on the highest quality product that you get there, $10,000 boxes, like half of them aren't even, game worn or player worn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The patches in Panini are like valueless most of the time, right? It's like, but yeah, I agree. I mean, at least the game used adds a little bit of an added mystique to the product, but
pretty bad. Pretty bad.
We'll be opening that on the in the channel.
All that to say is we got 2 of them, baby.
Yeah, we each bought one before we saw Andy's nerd alert on this product. So
I think we both knew that they're not big hitters, right? By any means.
Yeah, I mean the price point, but you still think it was a little bit better than that, right?
Yeah, like you would hope. You would certainly hope so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get the 1 out of 8 shot and get our $800 auto. So we shall see. But yeah, that's I wouldn't be buying it again if I saw that.
Yeah. That's what we're here.
Way to go.
Here to sort of give you an idea. Well, here's the other thing. They're accessible. They're one of the few products that you don't need a pre-order. You don't need to. I mean, they're still up there on Topps right now, which is very rare. They just came out today, I think, or yesterday. So they're still up. Most of the products, most of the hobby boxes sell out within 20 minutes, if not.
Yeah,
maybe
that's a red flag.
Yeah, it's never good if you see it up there for too long.
And it's funny you said that. That's another thing that the lawyer brought up for the arbitration against whatnot earlier on, that some of the clients wanted to open some of these boxes, some of these products, but you can't get it. So they were forced to like seek out a break. Yeah. So that's and get into that gambling environment, and they got stuck. So it's sort of funny you said that.
This is a point. I don't think that that's a whatnot issue. Obviously,
no, it's not a
Topps issue. But yeah, I can. Yeah. And it's not. I mean, Topps can do whatever they want, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, they certainly are flooding them with the best product. The last two or three breaks that I've seen, not breaks, 2 or 3 releases that I've seen on kind of coveted products. There's like you see right after in the Topps sort of thread, like, why don't you make these accessible to normal people? Like, why do the bots get them? Or why do, they're not making any friends with this stuff, especially the fact that, they just took over all these licenses and stuff and people are really excited about the product. You're not making lifelong customers here if you keep doing this type of stuff.
And that's a problem across the hobby and all products, right? With Pokemon and Panini, the Optic last year, you couldn't get Optic anywhere. So similar kind of situations going on. But yeah, there you have it. So I wouldn't watch us coming out soon with our Heritage box and see if you can make the judge if you think you should buy that. We're doing a hobby box a week leading up to opening day. So we'll do a baseball hobby box a week. The first one was what in again? Pristine.
Yep.
Okay.
Topps
so that's
Pristine.
Is that video? When does that video come out?
It's scheduled to go Saturday. So Saturday, I think 2:30. So yeah, keep your eyes open. Watch some basketball. Watch some pack ripping in the background. Have a good old time. Yeah, it's got 3 autos and 2 regular autos and 1 patch auto. Guaranteed in the Pristine. So what did I get?
There you go. Yeah, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch that on yesterday's drop. We have our Grail video series coming out. We might have one coming out on Tuesday. We have to see about that. These videos come out every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. A short a day every day, coming out on Rips and Brews. Check us out on Wednesday nights over on Vintage Sport Flips. We have our live podcast where we have a running giveaway that we do, or at least we add to the running part of it every week. That's a fun chat over there. And it's actually, we also put it on this channel. So you might see it here. What am I missing, Andy? Anything? Did I hit it all?
The only other thing is this, for anybody, there's very little card releases this week. I figured I'll throw it quickly out. Just Topps Heritage came out this week. The only other real thing this week, tomorrow, would be the 20th, or I guess last Friday, was Topps Chrome Sapphire Tennis. Okay. And then next week, the only big thing really, I think, is the Topps Series 1, the Baseball Celebration Mega Box. I don't know if you...
That's like the mascot one?
Yeah, I think
I didn't buy it.
Okay.
I looked at it. I didn't.
I bought one, so we'll see. We'll see if I think that's on its way. So, but other than that, I just see a lot of like kind of non-sport stuff or big sports stuff on Topps and stuff coming up. So maybe that changes. Sometimes they throw stuff up that isn't sort of widely known about. But other than that, yeah. That's about it.
All right. Well, that's cool. Some stuff to look forward to. So, guys, and what else to look forward to this week in sports cards every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. So we'll catch you out next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Peace.
Oh.
This week in sports cards.